Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am just doing this quick little live. I didn't even like do a thumbnail or anything like that. I'm pretty sure notifications did not go out. Let's see. Welcome everybody. Hopefully I won't be live for too long. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go live now. Welcome. Please let me know that you're in the chat. Just put a 1 in the chat or something. Because it says that I have nobody here. Thank you guys for coming to. Ooh, okay. All right. So it's weird how it says that I have like nobody here and there's like 21 likes already. We live now. Okay, guys. So just real quick, I went live on TikTok. And it had to, because like how TikTok works is you have to do things in increments. Not everybody likes TikTok. So shout out to the people. There was like 8 or 10 people, and it was kind of like I've never done TikTok before where people purchase like the little things that happen on TikTok, but I got to get more comfortable with TikTok and start doing it. I mean, I did a little Mr. Bean face. I love it. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm going to start doing a little bit more over there, but I can understand why people don't like TikTok though. I could see it's just so much, and I got so much to learn. So yeah. So I was there live over there. Make sure you guys check us out on TikTok. I don't have TikTok. Some people don't have TikTok, and that's fine. We just gotta expand. I used to do Facebook all the time, but I'm like, Facebook is so boring. Like I mean, we do have 3.k followers over there, but it's not as interactive as TikTok, I think. I prefer YT over TikTok. Yeah. You actually got notified. Thank you, Cheeks, for dropping the link. Thank you. And I mean, I don't even have a thumbnail for this. So let me tell you what I'm working on right now. And I'm not going to, I'll show you guys. I was talking a little bit about this on TikTok. Where did it go? Where'd it go? All right. Real quick, there's gonna be a video. I still have to edit it. I have an hour or 2 of editing to do, so it's gonna take me a minute to get there. But I hope to drop it today. I have other videos that I need to drop over the weekend. There is a lawsuit for those that are not. I'm sure some of you guys are aware, but there is a lawsuit that was filed. There's many lawsuits actually, but one specific lawsuit as of recent that was filed against Chad Bianco, aka Yosemite Sam. Yeah, it's about Yosemite Sam. So I'm going to review that. I've actually just got done recording in this lawsuit. So keep an eye out. If you're in Riverside or you're in Yucaipa or all these other areas, let me know if you're aware of this lawsuit, because it's a very interesting lawsuit. A bit confusing because it's actually like somebody in the agency that sued Chad Bianco. So like somebody that worked there for like 28 plus years, of a woman who was discriminated against and retaliated against. So I want to review that lawsuit in a pre-recorded video. So just finished recording that. Keep an eye out for this. That's going to drop here on YouTube, hopefully in the next 2 hours, however long it takes me to review that. Welcome, everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm starting to see some beautiful, shout out to the new subscribers. I'm starting to see some of my old, beautiful, wonderful, old school true crimers in the chat. Thank you guys. Because I go between exposing the industry to true crime to commentary. I do a little bit of everything on this channel. So thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes. Shout out to BJ's crew is in here. Shout out to everybody. All right. How are you, Northbound? I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody. All right. Let's get it together. So law and crime. So this is a lawsuit that I'll review in a pre-recorded video. Keep an eye out for that. Again, it's pertaining to Yosemite Sam, aka Chad Bianco. All right. Let's get into this right here, because this was Law and Crime. All right. So you guys make sure you check out Law and Crime. But they did an interview with the guy that interviewed Jake Haro. Okay. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, everybody coming through. Thank you guys for being here. I thought it was interesting. I kind of want to talk a little bit about what this news reporter has to say. Totally off the cuff. I don't have Baby Bunny here, so I was like, "Ooh, real quickly, let's talk about it. Let's go."
Emmanuel weren't located at that time. Now, when asked about what happened during that search and why Jake Haro was out there, the San Bernardino County Sheriff said they were getting some level of cooperation from the suspect, but he would not go into more detail. But then A bombshell report today per the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. It's a nonprofit that was originally helping in the search for Emmanuel Haro, and they told us that they've learned that Jake Haro confessed while in jail. They say Haro confessed.
Well, I mean, I think that was kind of like the thing that we all heard, it was a bombshell report that was dropped, and we had a lot of questions about this.
To a Perkins informant. That is an undercover law enforcement officer posing as a fellow inmate. Now, we're working to get comment from law enforcement about that and confirm if they'll tell us if Jake has actually confessed. It does appear, though, at least at the time of this recording, his wife, who is being kept at a separate facility, she is sticking to her story. At least she was on Sunday when Jake was out with deputies. Because
yes, thank you, Elsa. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody coming through. Let me hit play on this. We're waiting for the reporter to give his commentary, and I watched this. Actually, I was on True Crimes with Strategic Eyes on his channel, and he was giving commentary about this. Really like that guy's commentary. Let me hit play on this.
As Rebecca Haro gave an interview to a reporter with the Southern California News Group from jail, and we spoke with reporter Brian Rokos on Tuesday, and here's what he told us she said.
She, stuck to her guns. I gave her every opportunity to say, well, Jake was behind it, or, I'm a victim of domestic violence. Gave her ample opportunity to change her story.
It's unclear.
So remember, Rebecca Haro was interviewed first by this group of reporters. He's one of them, okay? And he's saying that he's sticking to the story. Hold up.
She said.
She, stuck to her guns. I gave her every opportunity to say, well, Jake was behind it, or, I'm a victim of domestic violence. Gave her ample opportunity to change her story.
It's unclear what Haro specifically said in jail, but we did just learn from the district attorney how they believe baby Emmanuel died. More now per the cameras of News Nation.
You said that mustache, Lord have mercy. Y'all are so critical. My goodness. Thank you so much again for the $2. Just saying hi, felt bored. Girl, thank you. Y'all are funny. Listen, $2 to say hi. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, okay? You said, what's that thing on his face? Y'all are so horrible in my chat. I know it's Friday, but tone it down a little bit. Like, I know it's Friday, okay? But tone it down just a little bit.
The filing in this case reflects our belief that baby Emmanuel was abused, victim of child abuse over time, and that eventually, because of that abuse, he succumbed to those injuries.
Another part of this news conference was information on a previous child abuse case involving Jake Haro when he was married to someone else. It happened in 2018. Haro's then 10-week-old daughter, just an infant, had to go to the hospital. She had broken bones, and Haro was charged with cruelty to children. In 2023, he was sentenced in the case, and the DA says the girl, who's now 7 years old, has lifelong injuries because of Jake Haro.
They don't ever talk about this weapons charge that he picked up. Like, this is the issue that really gets to me, that if anybody, I just want to know why this wasn't asked at the press conference, right? Like, that would have been a question for me, that if I was there, I'd been asked, hey, listen, so yes, 2023, he was, he pled to what he did to the 10-week-old. But what about this 2024 weapons charge? What say you then? Because to me, it's like that would have been an opportunity for them to, and I've said it before, and I feel like I'm like sounding like a broken record, and I know that I do at this point, but that would have been a point of, this man should have been behind bars. If he was behind bars around that time, he wouldn't even have been around a baby. Okay. He wouldn't even have been around a baby, right? Because he's got a weapons charge. He's behind, like, you already a felon. You can't be around weapons. And that was part of his plea agreement paperwork that we read here. Okay. So that's the part. It's like, why are we asking? We're not asking questions. I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Waffles, thank you so much for this 99 cents. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you. Miss Reba's been a member for 2 months. Thank you. Appreciate it. But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. Darcy's like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. What do you think, Darcy? What do you guys think? You have to seriously become one of my favorite channel. Oh, thank you so much, Paz. I really appreciate it. That really means a lot to me. Rabbit off topic. Didn't they charge Diddy with the guns they found in the raid? No, they didn't. He wasn't charged. He was defacing. It was, and that was a question that we had. There was a lot of things that Diddy was not charged with, that they talked about. There was also the medication. There was other things that he was not charged with. You say he probably was a snitch or an informant for them to have gotten a light sentence. Makes you, I don't know, man. Makes you wonder, right? Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments, okay? Let me hit play on this, okay?
Is bedridden. She can't talk. She has other challenges in her life, all because of the man who allegedly then murdered his 7-month-old son. Now, for as horrific as that 2018 crime was, Haro didn't go to prison.
Nope.
He was given a suspended sentence. It wasn't a plea deal, though. This was a plea through the court, the DA says. The decision to not give Haro a steep prison sentence was made by a judge. It was a judge in Riverside County, but they were visiting from San Bernardino County, according to the district attorney. Here is what the Riverside DA said about that.
Okay.
He has been on the job since 2014, so this was a case that his office prosecuted.
And the judge decided, as is the judge's right to do in that case, he decided that Mr. Haro deserved an extra break and gave him probation and basically 180 days of work release, which ends up being like community service.
All right. So let me clarify something, okay? Because you guys, I have to clarify something. I saw a TikToker and I figured I'd correct this too. Shout out to Sylvia, who gave me the heads up about this, because this is that part where it's like you're loud and you're wrong, okay? Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. Oh. Hold up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Sorry, I have so many screens open right now. This lady right here, she's got a huge following on TikTok, okay? So she says, Judge Jorge Hernandez, this is also his fault, right? How? I don't know, because that wasn't the judge that was sitting on this case.
It's also his fault. This is Jorge Hernandez.
How is it his fault? Again, like, I'm all for, reviewing everybody, making sure that we all got everybody in there. But ma'am, how is it his fault he wasn't the judge sitting on the case? The case is, the judge is Dwight Moore, okay? And it's actually on the court transcripts. Listen, you could be loud, you can have a lot of followers, but this is the part that we've been talking about, that it's like, if we don't get the accurate information correctly, if we are outraged about something, we got to make sure we're outraged about the right person and the right thing. So how is it his fault?
San Bernardino County judge that let that monster on probation to go back home and continue to abuse his 10-week-old daughter. What was he thinking? After this monster abused this 10-week-old, can we just get, I can't even wrap this around my mind, that it's a 10-week-old with multiple fractures, a skull fracture,
that's not the
rib
judge.
Fractures, and no prison time, probation. Literally, you're good. You can go home now. Go back to the daughter that you abused.
That's not.
By the way, the district attorney begged him not to let this guy go. Contacted him and said, look, Your Honor, with all due respect, but you're screwing things up for our kids here. You're going to let this monster go home?
What made her think that's not the judge, y'all? That's not the judge. Let me show you. This is the transcript. This is where the court hearing happened. We reviewed this. Honorable Judge Dwight Moore is a different judge than Judge George Hernandez. So they are wrong. I went in the comments and I try to correct lady. And so people are aware. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, let this lady know that she's wrong. That's the wrong judge. Listen, I'm all, for holding the system accountable. Why am I doing that? I'm all for holding the system accountable. We just got to make sure that we got the right judge. And she's got a bigger following on TikTok than I do. So there's that. Just so people are aware. Wrong judge. Wrong judge. You said, okay, I can't type. I don't know what day it is. Shout out to you, Kim. Hold up. I don't know why my camera is. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can fix this camera before we move on. It's like acting up and it's bothering me. 1 second, y'all. You said, who am I correcting on TikTok? Well, if you're on TikTok, her name is The Hat Lady. Okay? The Hat Lady. You said it was Judge George? Just checking. Thank you for checking. Well, I don't know. This is the one that says on the transcripts is Judge what's his name? Dwight Moore. And it was a visiting name. Excuse me, a visiting judge. So I don't think that's the right judge. She's doing research. Her reporting the wrong judge is inciting the outrage against the wrong judge. That's what I'm saying, Regina. Go check it out. Okay. If we're going to be keyboard warriors, we got to be right keyboard warriors. We can't be getting this shit wrong. We got to get it right. Okay. Now, do we make mistakes? Absolutely. But I don't think that that's the judge. And it's on, like I said, it's on the court transcripts. Hold up. I needed to fix the camera real quick. Let's see. Camera. Fix it. There's something going on with my camera. Okay, it's somewhat fixed now. Do you pick agree? Let's see. Oh my God. Look at oh, y'all are so messy. You said it was a state, it was stated there was a fill-in judge from another location for the case. That's right, Florida. So it wasn't George Hernandez. The judge that was sitting over, it was a visiting judge, Dwight Moore presiding. It's right there. Dwight Moore, Honorable Judge Dwight Moore. It's on the transcripts. All right. So we just got to make sure we get it right. She's got a big following. I went in there and tried to correct her, but listen, like I said, sometimes people that have bigger followings, they don't really care about getting it right. They care about being loud and putting misinformation out there, and when you make a mistake, it's okay to say I made a mistake, wrong judge, whatever it may be, but that information was already out there like a week ago. We've already figured that out. Yes, that's right. He was a fill at Riverside County Courthouse. It was fully retired in 2023. So there's that. Okay, let me play this. Okay.
I will say that it was an outrageous error in judgment by this judge.
The Haros are being held in separate jails, and again, they'll both be in court on September 4th. Joining us now is former federal prosecutor and the founder of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Nima Romani. Thank you, as always, for being with us here on Law on Crime.
Okay, hold up. I want to get to the other reporter guy. Where is it at? Do Law and Crime. Hold on. Where is he at? This is not the guy. Where is he at? Let me find it real quick. So I'm prepared, Rabbit. What are you doing? So I'm prepared. Hold up. Law and Crime. Here's a video specifically. Where's it at? Video. Here it is. Yada, yada, yada. This is the one that we died crying. But that wasn't the one. He did a... Is this it right here? Yeah, this is the one that we're reviewing. What is going on? Give me one sec, y'all. Technical difficulties. This is the guy right here. This is who I wanted to talk about. Here it is. This guy right here. Mr. Brian.
The one I did with Rebecca, in that Rebecca...
Big interview get here, Brian. We really appreciate your time being with us on Law and Crime. Let's get into it. What did Jake Haro tell you in jail?
Well, his interview was different from the one I did with Rebecca, in that Rebecca stuck with the account that she was a victim of a mugging, that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. And Jake did not say that. He didn't say there was a kidnapping. He didn't say there wasn't. All he said was that Vanessa was innocent. And I asked him directly.
Isn't this interesting? Because in the interview, I got the daily, I think it was the Daily Buzz or something like that. That video, I told you guys that he was very specific about the things that he didn't say. He's not talking about a kidnapping. He's not talking about my son is out there. He's not talking about I need to go look for my son or anything like that. Jake said something very different in that interview, right? So it's interesting. You say, why would anyone 100% believe Jake, though? Mama, you're right. Why would anybody at this point believe Jake? Thank you, Jake. Look at James. Thank you, James, for gifting. James just gifted 10 memberships. If you've been blessed by James, put some hearts in the chat. Now, hold up. Let me see. Are my hearts working? Hearts, confettis. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. You said the mustache is sending me. I'm sure he gets a lot of compliments about the mustache. The other reporter said that there was a confession, is standing 10 toes down on what he reported. That's right, Tony. He is. And I believe Brian Nenton. I believe Brian Nenton, because Brian Nenton didn't just bring himself alone to say this. I honestly believe law enforcement has no reason to be honest with us or with the public, y'all. Okay? Law enforcement can deceive people. They can lie to people. They can do all kinds of things. The press conference was very clear to me that it didn't, like, why would they confirm or deny information if they're trying to build a case? So this is why I'm like, I believe Brian 1000%. I'm behind Brian on that. I'm sorry, I do, because I've seen Brian's work. I've seen what he's done here on YouTube as well. He's amazing. And it's interesting because I can't say that a lot about major media outlets, but I can't say that about Brian. I think for me, it stood out to me. This is one thing that stood out to me about Brian Nenton, was that when, and I've said this before, when that situation with Gannon Stout came out, and there was a creator here on YouTube who was selling autopsy photos of Gannon Stout, he was like one of the few reporters out there that went on a big outlet and dragged and talked and exposed it. Because a lot of us here on YouTube will talk about things like this. We get in trouble for a lot of things. We get bashed for misinformation. We get in trouble for all kinds of things. But to actually see somebody in major media actually care and say, like, this is not okay. Like, honestly, I'm here for it. So I'm glad that he said what he said.
Are you responsible for the
You said, please play back a minute, because this man said Vanessa, not Rebecca. A minute? Hold up. Okay, he said Vanessa? Does he not know who she is?
.com, and he just spoke with Jake Haro in jail. Big interview get here, Brian. We really appreciate your time being with us on Law and Crime. Let's get into it.
Let me pause real quick. Crazy Cat Mama, where have you been? Love you and totally love your perspective. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well, Crazy Cat Mama. I was thinking about you the other day. I hope you're well. Oh my goodness. He said Vanessa?
What did Jake Haro tell you in jail?
Well, his interview was different from the one I did with Rebecca, in that Rebecca stuck with the account that she was a victim of a mugging, that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. And Jake did not say that. He didn't say there was a kidnapping. He didn't say there wasn't. All he said was that Vanessa was innocent. And I asked him.
He said, all he said was that Vanessa was innocent. Now that you guys said it, now I can't unhear it. You guys are like literally on it. What? I didn't even catch it. Shout out to the chat. Chat, you get the flowers because you guys called it. Okay, y'all heard that? He said Vanessa. I mean, he said Rebecca first, and then he said Vanessa. Now I hope I don't say that, because anyways, let me stop.
Directly, are you responsible for the disappearance of Emmanuel? And all he would say was, well, I can't really talk about it on the advice of my attorney. He was unaware that earlier in the day that Mike Hestron, the Riverside County District Attorney, had said they believed that Emmanuel died from ongoing abuse. And so I told Jake what the district attorney had said, and he said, that's not true at all.
He said, that's not true at all. You said, hold up. You said Vanessa is the second wife. First wife is Isabela, from the oldest son, Eli. Vanessa is the second wife, and then it's Rebecca. Yeah. But you're right. Who reported the wrong judge? I'm a monostrategic. Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody in the chat said this is the judge that was actually sitting over this case. This the 10-week-old. Thank you. Shout out to you. Thank you for saying this. Is actually Judge Dwight Moore. This is the transcript right here. There's a lady on TikTok. And I didn't hear Strategic say it. Somebody in the chat is saying it. There's a lady on TikTok who said that the judge is George, George Hernandez. Okay. And that's inaccurate. I don't. Are you sure it was Strategic who said it? I'm pretty sure he said the right judge, but I don't know because I never heard him say the judge's name. But let me know. Let me know. And I mean, this is the judge, by the way, for that. I don't remember him saying the judge, but I mean, it was late night. So, yeah, somebody in the comments said that Strategic Eyes had said the wrong name. No, I don't think so because I don't remember hearing that. But I can't find the comment anymore. If anybody, can y'all tell on yourselves, please, whoever said it, who said that Strategic said it, because I don't think he did. I think it was just a TikToker. Who is the correct judge? It's in the transcripts up there. The correct judge is Dwight Moore, presiding judge, Honorable Dwight Moore. He was the visiting judge who sat there for this, I guess, the situation with the 10-week-old. It's in the transcripts of the court. It's not. He pronounces it in Spanish. It's not Jorge Hernandez. Okay, not and there was a lot of people that got it wrong too. People on TikTok, which is what we were just talking about. This lady right here said it was Jorge Hernandez. It wasn't. Wrong judge. Wrong judge. But this lady right here, yeah. Oh, okay. The Long Beach Post has an interview with Judge Dwight W. Moore, and he commented on this. Yes, so this lady right here allowed. I mean, she's very passionate about the topic, but she's very wrong about the judge. It's not Jorge Hernandez. So if you guys hear people saying that, we have those transcripts. We have it available. Make sure that you guys name it. Yeah, I didn't think that he ever named a judge, so I don't know. It might be somebody that's just kind of trolling me. So can we be careful when we drop names, please, and thank you? I don't think he got the wrong name. Oh, okay. You don't know about Strategic, but you saw a couple. Why are they saying the wrong names? We have the information. So what are we doing? I'm going to see if I can find that comment because that's going to bother me. Hold up. Somebody said it. Hold up. Who said it? I don't see them in the chat anymore. Another YouTuber has a theory. Nope. Let me go up a little bit. I'm sorry, because this is going to bother me, and I want to make sure if the person is still. Judge Moore, it wasn't you, works in San Bernardino County, and Hernandez works in Riverside County. Okay. Let's see. Somebody said it here, and I can't remember who said it. I would really appreciate if you say who you are. They might have deleted their comment because I don't see it anymore. Oh, Strategic's Eyes didn't say it. His chat said it. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm getting closer. Yeah, can we not do that, please? I don't know who was the comment. Now this is going to bother me. Hold up. Okay, SG, Strategic Eyes chat also said it was George. Thank you, Rabbit, for checking. Yeah, it's not. So make sure, and it might be the chat. So it wasn't him that was repeating the information. It was probably the chat. Just make sure you guys have that accurate information. But I do wonder if they got it from this lady right here who released this video, and they're thinking she's accurate. She's wrong. That's not the judge. It's in the transcripts. The transcripts have been out for a couple days on that. So she's wrong. She's wrong. And I misread that comment, so I do apologize. So if his mod is here, can you just tell him that? I understand. I'm just asking who was the judge who said this. Okay, just let him know that it was this lady was the one that repeated the wrong information, and so it's everywhere. Listen, I also heard that the judge Dwight was put for his retirement and to resign. Can somebody Thank you. I hope that clears the information. I'm sorry if I repeated wrong information as well, but I want to make sure that we all get it correctly. Here's my question, y'all. Somebody said in the comments that the judge made a comment that the one that was retired. Can you guys send me that article, please? And thank you if you have it. Like he made who said it in the comments? Sorry, y'all. There's so many comments. This is my email right here. If you guys can send me that article, that'd be amazing. Please and thank you. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, Strategic didn't name the judge. I was like, I don't remember him saying the name, but I was stating in the chat, but I will correct myself after I check it. Thank you. No, shout out to you, love, and make sure you guys check out True Crime with Strategic, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I just want to make, but I think that the reason why people are repeating the wrong information is because lady right here, and when did she drop this video? 22 hours ago. So there's that. And I went in the comments and I said, you got the wrong judge, lady. So some of us might get blocked or she might correct it. Who knows? Let's see. All right, let's get it together. If you guys have that article with that judge, please let me know and email it to me. Sorry, y'all. I'm going through the comments. Somebody said that they had an article with the judge or that he spoke. Okay. Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming in here. Okay. In the chat, put the name of the article where the retired judge spoke, and maybe I'll search it real quickly while we watch this.
But what he didn't say was there some sort of short-term abuse? I asked him, was there an accident? I gave him, lots of avenues to go down, and he just wouldn't want to talk about that at all. So you wonder what is there?
Considering that he, the big question that you and everybody has is like, what happened to baby Emmanuel? And he agrees to this interview. And yet when you ask that question, you kind of get a non-answer, based off legal advice and all.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is going to make a lot of people upset. I had not read this before. So thank you for the heads up. I think it was SJ who let me know on this, okay? I said it in Strategic's chat, so I feel bad. LOL, or correct myself. No, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, wait. You said I thought it was Judge Moore for other cases. See what I'm saying, Rachel? This is what I'm saying. It's like people gotta chill out a little bit. The TikToker put that information out there, and everybody ran with it. And like I said, it's such a passionate topic. People are upset for the right reasons. Okay, this is the article. This is from the Long Beach Post. Baby Emmanuel, the alleged murder victim in a case where his parents Jake and Rebecca are defendants, would still be alive today if not for a judge's decision to grant Jake's probation in a different child abuse case 2 years ago, Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hesterson asserted on Wednesday. In 2023, Jake pleaded guilty to willful child cruelty in a case involving his 10-week-old daughter Carolina Haro, which we know is actually Promise Faith. You know what was so irritating is that the DA didn't even know her name. Like, okay, who suffered a fractured skull, damaged spine, multiple broken bones, and other injuries. As at a court hearing on June 8, 2023, okay, we have those transcripts. Superior Court Judge Dwight W. Moore suspended Jake Haros' 6-year prison sentence and granted probation instead. And I quote, "I'm giving you a chance," said Judge Moore. "Don't mess it up. Good luck." So Judge Moore says to him, "I'm giving you a chance. Don't mess it up." And then just lets him go. Don't mess it up. I'm giving you a chance. That's what he said. Further goes, it appeared from his comment at the time that Moore thought the threat of prison for any probation violation would be a deterrent for any wrongdoing. We have hung a very large hammer over the defendant's head, he said, according to a transcript obtained by the Long Beach Post. It's probably the same transcript, y'all. The judge's decision was absolutely outrageous, Hestron said at a Wednesday press conference. Mr. Haro should have been in prison. If the judge had done his job as he should have done, Emmanuel would be alive today. Actually, and like I said, if it's not just this, but if he had been violated for this 2024 weapons charge, he would be alive today too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't have been around, because you can't have a weapon as a felon. So what are we talking about? It goes like, this is the thing about the district attorney that really drives me insane. That it's like, I get it. blame the keyboard warriors, blame all these people. But it's like the buck has to stop somewhere. Okay, a visiting judge, got it. Should have been there. But what about the 2024 weapons charge? Why the hearing would have been September? Took them a whole year for them to figure out how to violate, to revoke his stuff. So what are we doing? Let's keep going. At the 2023 hearing, Deputy District Attorney Sam Taloa took issue with the lenient sentence. Okay. Your Honor, I would just ask for the record to reflect that the people are objecting to this, said Taloa. This is based on the severity of the injuries as we discussed to the victim. On Wednesday, this is the judge, y'all. This is the judge. On Wednesday, Judge Moore told the Long Beach Post that ethical rules prevent him from explaining why he granted probation to Jake Haro. I'm absolutely precluded from commenting publicly about the case, said Judge Moore, who acknowledged that the controversy caught him by surprise. In 18 years, this is the first time I've taken to task in this matter about a decision I've made. Judge Moore, who spent 26 years in the San Bernardino County DA's office before being appointed to the bench in 2007 by Governor Arnold Schwartz, can never say his last name correctly, retired from full-time service in 2021, but has continued to handle temporary judicial assignments. The fate of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro has drawn nationwide attention, says his mother, Rebecca Haro, reported to police that he was missing. We know this, even rereading this makes me upset because it's like we know the outcome of this. DA said that authorities have evidence that Emmanuel was killed in Riverside County. Okay. So thank you for the update on this. This is the judge. This is the right judge, not this judge that the TikToker, loud and loud, y'all. This is not the judge. She's wrong. She's that.
This is Jorge Hernandez.
Look at this.
San Bernardino. It's also his fault. This is Jorge Hernandez.
Why is it his fault? Was he there? Did he have decision making? What happened? Why is it his fault? Let's make sure we're getting our stuff factually correct here, okay? That's the different judges. Y'all see that? This is the accurate judge right here. That's it. Okay? All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, hold up. Let's get it together. And let's go back to the video because Baby Bunny's home.
Very sad case that we've been following out of Southern California. The biggest thing.
That's not the right video. You got bubbles? Oh my gosh, girl. Let me see. It's a baby shark? All right. Go play. She comes home with a new toy. Lord have mercy. Sorry about that.
All this. Why do you think he agreed to do the interview?
Well, he seemed to be a talker. He had points he wanted to make. And the way I approach these interviews is always, I'd like to tell your side of the story in our newspaper. And for a lot of people, that's just irresistible, especially when they feel like they've been wronged, or maybe sometimes they feel like they can say something that would be favorable to their situation. But what he really wanted to talk about in length was his 2023 conviction, where he pled guilty to willful child cruelty. And I didn't put a lot in the article just because I wasn't going to be able to get the other side of the story. But
so this guy, there was a bunch of reporters, I guess, that sat there for 45 minutes to talk about what happened, right? 45 minutes of information. And that article doesn't really say a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot that's said, but not a lot of substance. So he's like, I couldn't really put everything out there because I couldn't get both sides of the information. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing? But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. I do wonder about this. Hold up.
He really dumped on his wife at the time, Vanessa, about her possible role in the very, very serious injuries to their daughter, Carolina, who is now permanently bedridden. Jake had said that he was bathing the baby, and she slipped through his fingers and hit her chest on the sink divider. And that
it's the fact that he's stuck to that story. Even we've read this 2018 arrest affidavit. We've read that like so many times. By the way, just to let you guys know, I did make a FOIA records request for San Bernardino, and they denied my request, so people are aware. Like, they denied my anything. It's all denied because there's still an active investigation, and California can do that. Actually, a lot of places. So anytime I've asked for a FOIA, I've never really had problems, but this time they denied it. So there's that.
At the time, it did not appear she was injured, but then later that night, in the middle of the night, Vanessa woke him up and said, "Hey, there's something wrong with the baby," and he felt her sides, and he felt a crackling. And that was a description that was in court documents, and that was a description he gave me yesterday. And he made various accusations about Vanessa, about her suitability as a mother, and about her, the way.
So Vanessa, again, is the second wife. They had, sorry, my camera battery died. I should have charged it. They had 2 children, and hold up. They had 2 children, right? And the other child, who was also adopted by the same family, was born with FAS, okay? Just so people are aware. So it wasn't just Promise Faith, but it was also another child that was born with FAS. Okay, sorry, I'm getting my camera battery died. Oh, man. Okay. Hopefully that works. Let's hit play on this.
She was conducting herself that night, and he made it clear that he thought he was innocent. He made it clear that he wanted to take the case to trial, but that he felt like he got pressured to make a plea. And he thought the sentence of 180 days in work release, where you show up to the jail and then you're let go at night after picking up trash or whatever, and a suspended 4-year prison sentence was fair. In his words, he said the judge thought he was innocent. Now, I plan to get the transcript from that hearing and find out exactly what was said.
Yeah, because yesterday the DA and
I think that's important. I did ask for those transcripts, so hopefully we'll get those as well. But I mean, more and more information is coming out about this situation. Jake Haro is so weird to me. Like, you're bitching about the sentencing, but you think it's fair. It's weird. Jake sure knows how to pick them, you said. I mean, he's no prize, like, clearly. I just want, like, I was trying to figure out what everybody was doing in their line of work, like what job or anything. I don't even think he was employed. I don't think she was employed. I don't think anybody was working.
Riverside County, I mean, in the news conference, very much the opposite opinion about how all that went down, and said that the judge had even said that Jake Haro got a break.
That's a good question. Are they addicts? I do wonder, was there any kind of substance abuse or anything like that going on? Who knows? I don't know about that.
And the incident happened in 2018, and then the case is done in 2023, which was an interesting timeline. When you spoke with Jake Haro in jail, what stood out to you about his body language?
He was sweating. He was wiping his face. Of course, he's in a jail, and it's 100 degrees out there in Banning, so I don't know what sort of air conditioning he had in there. He didn't seem.
Do they have air conditioning out there? I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Scared. He didn't seem worried. He seemed more about getting his point across about how he felt like the district attorney and other investigators were making the assumption that just because he had the 2023 conviction that, oh, he must have killed baby Emmanuel. He feels like that they made that leap without evidence. And so that's what he's concerned about. But he wanted to talk, very definitely.
Did he, even though he gives kind of in the advice of the lawyer, I can't really talk about this, talk about that. And then, like, sometimes for me in an interview, maybe you try to take, you go left and they say, not there. And then maybe, there's other little pieces you can try to peel away. Like, did he give any nugget whatsoever that stood out to you as far as what we've heard?
Well, that's the question. Wasn't there a mandatory minimum? Like, it's just weird how this works, but okay, whatever.
He was on TV saying, please bring my son home. And then now he's in jail. Did he say anything that kind of stood out to you that kind of pieced together what he might think happens, or no? Obviously, he knows what happened.
Yeah, obviously these are. Well, he acknowledged that these are very serious charges. He acknowledged the people that have been calling for his hide, the people on social media. He really didn't offer much about the search, resuming the search. We've gone back and forth. He was cooperating. He was not cooperating, depending on who you talk to. And he said he was fully cooperating. And that dovetails to something that the San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes said at the news conference, that they had been receiving cooperation from suspects. So whether that included Jake Haro saying, "I buried the baby out by the freeway," I don't know. Jake wouldn't address how he wound up with the investigators out in the Badlands there, as they're called, on that brushy hillside.
People are saying that, like, well, it was wrong because he's got a specific suit. I'm not caught up on that. I don't care about the suit. I feel like, he could have had contact with other people before that. He could have, we just don't know. Before he was in quote unquote isolation, we don't know. We don't know. He could have had contact with other officers or anybody that was undercover. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't feel like it's as black and white as people are trying to make it look.
It seems like there's something there that he's not saying. And it's more than just, well, Emmanuel was kidnapped, but I can't jump that far ahead.
Yeah, because it's yesterday you have the big report comes out from News Nation, and then there's this nonprofit that had sent us a note, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, which were involved in the search early, then they weren't. And then, both, it seemed very similar, that there was this jailhouse confession, they said. The informant, a Perkins informant, which I had never heard of, who, according to the report, they go in, they sit with Jake Haro. It's actually a law enforcement officer, and he spills it to him, saying the report said that Jake had rolled over on Emmanuel. That's how he died. And then they put Emmanuel's body in the trash. Law enforcement has pushed back on that and said that is just not true. Was there anything in your conversation with him and in covering the story that stood out to you when that first started to make headlines yesterday?
Yeah, I was unaware of those reports at the time I spoke with Jake. But looking at the reports, one was that supposedly that Jake had, they had killed Emmanuel and they put him in the trash. And the other one on that show from the same person was that Jake had buried Emmanuel out in a rural area. And the reporter on that said he double-checked, triple-checked with his sources, and he believed both accounts to be true.
I believe it too. And not only that, there wasn't just Brian Enton. There was the former DA that was there too. That it sounds like she might have had some sources too in there. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
But the odd thing is both can't be true. It has to be one or the other. And now law enforcement is saying neither of them are correct. So, it comes back to when people use unidentified sources for information, you really need to think hard about whether that's true. I mean,
who said that they're unidentified? They're unidentified to all of us, but they're identified to them. I mean, they know the source and they're major media, right? Brian Enton is a major media outlet. So it's like, what? They don't have to tell us if they did a Perkins or not, right? Like they're not bound by disclosing that to us. This is why I was like, I get where this guy is coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but not every process works that way too.
The Southern California News Group are very, very, very reluctant to use anonymous sources unless we know that the person is in a direct position to know, and it's something that we might be able to confirm later on. So it's hard for people, as you've seen with all the vloggers and bloggers and amateur online sleuths and so forth, putting forward their own theories about what's happening, and private people trying to organize search parties. It's very difficult for the public to be patient and wait for law enforcement to do their job and to get to the bottom of the things.
But the thing is that, okay, let me stop right here. This is the part that's very difficult. I get where he's coming from. But to be very clear, San Bernardino, when they put their PR, missing child, they never corrected it to say, like, guys, guess what? He's not really missing. We have an idea of where he's at. Like, people will only go as far as you tell them to. If you don't give people, and I'm not saying they have to disclose exactly where this baby's at or anything like that. That's not the point. But the issue is here. It's like, if you don't tell people, which they didn't tell anybody, law enforcement didn't say anything to anybody. They did their little post and basically said, oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. All right, go take that over there, my friend. This little thing spits bubbles. Sorry about that. Okay. It's like bubbles everywhere. They didn't tell, law enforcement didn't tell the public, we don't need your help looking for a baby. They didn't say that at all. At all. So that's the piece that it's like, how do you expect people not to gather together, these amateur detectives or amateur sleuths, whatever you call them, and not go out there and look when you're not also updating the public about the fact that we're not looking for a missing baby anymore? Does that make sense? It's really weird to me that it's like you want the public to help you find a child. You're damn if you do and damn if you don't, right?
They eventually will. So it's just they want answers right away. They want them right now, and then they start making stuff up when they don't get the immediate answers they want. And when we hear from law enforcement about what they say happened, there's still going to be people who won't believe it. That they'll, facts are probably going to be too boring for them, and some fancy theory is going to be a little bit more exciting and believable for them. So we try to be as responsible as we can on these sorts of things.
Yeah, and I know I appreciate that, just being, not in California, and you're trying to figure. I mean, this story has played out on social media. I mean, as we've talked, so in so many ways that a lot of stories haven't in the past. It was interesting that Jake said that Rebecca was innocent, that he's like standing by his wife, and yet their stories are somewhat different. What did he say about his wife?
He said that she's a beautiful woman and would never hurt a child, and she loved her children. And that's what Rebecca said about Jake. Great father, great husband, would never hurt his kids.
Are they going to rat on each other at some point? That's the question.
And right now, obviously, the district attorney's office is saying something completely different. When Jake said Rebecca is innocent, that sort of said to me that he had some information, that he knew what happened with Emmanuel, and that perhaps she had no part of what actually happened, but he was not willing to say what really did happen.
He doesn't want to, he's going to flip on her. James, and I'm going to read super chats here in a minute. James, this is the point that I'm making. If they don't want the public's help, why have a huge Crime Stopper sign and number at a press conference? Even before that, why put it out there on a site? Why say that you're still looking for a missing baby? If you didn't want, if you knew where this baby's body was at already, why would you not say, guys, and I get it, because they couldn't charge them right away and they had to just kind of leave that out there. But you can't be mad at the public for then thinking that there's still a missing baby out there. You can't. It's just crazy to me. Thank you, James, for this. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's just common sense.
So, but again, he did not go back to the kidnapping claim, which he easily could have.
What do you make of and they're the only ones who know, right? But you are one of, you're probably the only person who's spoken to both of them since that first TV interview that they did, where she's making, sticking to the storyline that she gave, that this assault happened, that police say didn't, and then he seems like to your point, has some information. What do you make of the differences in their stories and what they told you?
Well, for one thing, this tells me that the sheriff's department has done its job and has kept the Haros from each other. They're in different jails. When they were in court the other day, Rebecca was seated in a...
Listen, I just read a lawsuit that I'm about to drop today about these jails in there. And by the way, Chad Bianco, aka Yosemite Sam, is head of these jails. He's being sued in this lawsuit. For those that came in late, I'm about to drop that lawsuit and review it. Now, those are just allegations, but there was a woman who sued, say that there's a lot of corruption in all these facilities that he's overseeing. One of those being the one that she's in right there. Okay, so keep that in mind.
The jury box on the far right side of the room, and Jake was seated in a chair near the where the inmates come in and out, those who are in custody, on the far side of the room. And Jake said, they've been told not to talk with each other. So very definitely, they have not been in communication since the arrests to make their stories align if in fact they're guilty. They obviously had a story to begin with about the kidnapping that they were sticking to, but now it seems like that's not quite the party line for both of them anymore.
Did anything stick out to you, when they entered court, assuming that that's the first time they've seen each other since their arrest?
And this is a good point. Jake and Rebecca did not expect this kind of attention. They didn't expect people to get invested. They're not smart people. But you know what, guys? Like, honestly, the fact that they even thought that they can get away with this, just imagine how many other children are in such situations, right? Emmanuel Haro is not the only one. I mean, just a couple years ago, we had the Gabriel Hernandez case. Similar situations, too. Right? I mean, horrific abuse. And they didn't care. So it's like this is a repeated thing. The community is responsible. The agencies are responsible. There's a judge is responsible. All these people are responsible for a lot of this, okay?
And to about just how they looked at each other or any of the interactions they had?
Yeah, I didn't really, boy, this hearing was like 3 minutes, so there wasn't a lot of time for things like that. I mean, they are instructed. You do not signal, look at, smile, wink, nod, anything like that to any other person. And they were let out separately. So I don't think that, I didn't see them acknowledging each other. Rebecca was on kind of like on the side of the room, and Jake was more toward the back of the room. So they were not looking directly at each other. It would be kind of like this. And now Jake did tell me, and it's in the story, there'll be more detail in the story that's online, is that they after they were let out of the courtroom, they went down elevators separately. They wound up sort of near each other in the holding area, and he tried to shout out to her, "I love you." And according to Jake, a deputy threw him to the
tackled
floor.
down. Poor guy. Yeah, they thought that it would get the same attention, that it wouldn't get the same attention as Promise Faith. But now the keyboard warriors are holding their feet to the fire. Everybody. Belen, the reason why we got these names like Yosemite Sam, you can thank Belen. Belen just came up with the new name for this guy, the Monopoly Man. Isn't the Monopoly Man, doesn't he have a name? What's his name? What's the Monopoly Man's name? With the top hat. I forgot. It's not Uncle Sam, is it? Monopoly used to be my favorite game. This ain't the Notebook, LOL. I know, right? So dramatic. Okay, let's keep going.
Like a rag doll. And I asked the sheriff's department if they would want to comment on the account, and they declined to do so. So obviously, sheriff's department taking it very seriously, trying to keep them apart. And so it'll be interesting to see going forward whether the attorneys, they're going to have separate attorneys.
No, I think it's Mr. Pennybags. It's not Mr. Monopoly, it's Mr. Pennybags. Oh, see, this is why people don't subscribe to the channel, because y'all are messy in my chat.
Whether the attorneys work in concert, or whether one side or the other turns against the other.
Did Jake say whether, I remember he had an attorney he did a couple of interviews, and he was the same attorney from the 2023 conviction. Is he still his attorney, or
he's not his attorney for the criminal case?
Okay.
The Riverside County Public Defender's Office is representing both of them, and because
there was a conflict, that's why he's not the attorney anymore. So I don't know if it was a lack of money or if it's just a conflict and he's finding a new attorney, but right now he has a different attorney. This is going to be a lot of money, this case right here. And to be quite honest, it seems to me that we don't know what the evidence that they have or anything like that, but this he's not getting out, y'all. I don't think so. Rebecca might be a whole different story if she cooperates and actually does something about this, but yeah.
The public defender's office is like a law firm. A law firm can't represent two clients in the same case. So the public defender's office, one of them will represent one of them, and then there'll be a court-appointed attorney from the private sector for the other. And as of this morning, I don't know who's going to have who as their attorney.
And then just my last question I just thought about, and this was something from the news conference yesterday, is when the district attorney was asked if he knew where Emmanuel's body was, his answer, and I'm probably not quoting it directly, was like, they have a pretty good idea of where it is. They don't know. He was clear though in saying, I'm not saying I know where it is, but I have a pretty good idea where it is. What do you make of that?
That means that, I mean, a couple of logical possibilities are that Jake said, well, I buried the body, or I threw the body out off the side of the freeway, and I'm not sure where. I would think that if you buried the body, that would be a pretty memorable event, and that he would be able to point. And
that's a question. Is that considered a confession if they have an idea? They said that they were cooperating with law enforcement. So what does that mean? That's the question.
To an exact location. That's just kind of a guess. Another possibility is that they do have his phone, so I'm sure that they've been pinging the cell phone records to triangulate his movements, and it's possible that they have a general area where in that rural area, it might indicate that he was in that general area for maybe an hour or something like that on a particular date, when there's absolutely no reason for anyone to stop in that area unless your car breaks down. So that's why they could have a general idea of where it was. And we are not aware of any other location where the investigators have searched. I mean, of course, they don't necessarily tell us that. This search the other day came to light because people were calling up and saying, hey, there's to the media, hey, there's 12 cop cars pulled over by the side of the road out on Highway 60. And
I mean, Ahmed Payoso was the first one out there, right? He was like the first one when he was in that red or orange jumpsuit. So there's that. Kind of obvious if you see a bunch of cop cars and then you have one prisoner in a jumpsuit.
And there's a guy in a red jail jumpsuit out there. So you can't, they couldn't exactly deny what was going on.
Michael Hestrin, a lot of national attention on him now, and he's been the DA since 2014. What do you expect from him in prosecuting this case?
Well, he actually personally came out of his office to prosecute a bodiless murder case last year, and he won that. He had the advantage of incriminating text messages and surveillance images, and so he was able to win that case, I think, pretty easily. There was very little jury deliberation on that, as I recall. What evidence he has in this case, I don't know. We're waiting for the declaration written to obtain an arrest warrant to be published so that we can see what evidence he has in the case. But it seems like he might have less to work with. But I think that
he might have less to work with. Kim says, yes, out in a red jumpsuit because he didn't confess. Yes, all those bubbles are crazy. Let's see. They didn't have him because his sources tell him before they do. Huh. Do you think this is his real hair? The Lord have mercy. Y'all are paying attention to the wrong things. I'm a SARS member. You guys, they are literally looking for a needle in a haystack. Yeah. Especially if any kind of, like any animals are in the area. He could be in a coyote den, anything. He's so tiny. That's right, Regina. It's like, I don't know if Emmanuel is going to be, like, I hope that that's not the case, that he's found, but I don't know if he's going to be found. And once we get the arrest document and, all this stuff, and maybe we might actually have some more information to kind of go on. Like I said, once we get like that arrest warrants and all the documents and everything that they're being, like, we have a charging document, but we don't have details in that document about what they have for evidence. When they said that, we're going to have to follow the case through. We're planning to follow this case all the way through. Okay. So just like we did the Diddy trial and we've done other cases, we're going to follow this all the way through. Okay. Figure out what happened.
Given that this is a national story, I don't know that Mike Hestrin is going to be holding daily news conferences or anything like that, but he's assigned an assistant district attorney, a very, very high level prosecutor to this case. So he's going to do everything he can to win it, to leave nothing to chance, to make sure that there's a conviction. And I mean, let's face it, he is an elected official. He is a politician. There's been some instances in the past.
He's going to use this case for his purpose. I mean, this is what a lot of politicians do. They use, especially in the, attorneys,
where he's punted on prosecuting people, sending cases to the grand jury. In high-profile case, there was a high-profile case where an off-duty LAPD officer shot a nonverbal man and his parents in a Costco after the nonverbal man slugged him, and Mike delivered that to the grand jury, even though he could have filed charges against the officer himself. And there was some considerable grumbling at that point about, was he punting the case to the grand jury so he wouldn't have to risk losing endorsements from police unions by prosecuting a police officer. So, but this one seems pretty straightforward. It seems politically risk-free. It could only benefit him from an aggressive prosecution, and judging by who he has assigned to the case, that's what it looks like it's going to happen.
Right. No, and that was just like an interesting part where it was some information and like a big development, but it wasn't directly, we know, and that's kind of the possibilities that have been put around. It's just, fascinating case, so sad, I think is the biggest part of it is just where is Emmanuel and what happened to him. Brian Rokos, reporter with the Southern California News Group. You can read his interview with Jake Haro as well as his interview with Rebecca Haro at pressenterprise.com. Thank you for giving us your time. We really appreciate it.
Again, not a lot of information was provided. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It seems a little bit like they kind of go back and forth, these reporters do, about who and what. And honestly, we're probably never going to really know the truth about what was actually happening, if anybody actually talked to Jake Haro or anything like that. Once, they shared the documents that they need to share, whatever they need to share. But I have a lot of questions about this. You said it seems to love passing the buck. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys, I'm telling you, wait till you watch the video again. For those that are coming in late, I have a video that I just recorded before I went live. Just got done recording, except I have an hour of editing on this video. Okay. And this video specifically is on this situation right here. There's a lawsuit that happened. There was this woman by the name of Victoria Flores was working for Chad Bianco in the sheriff's Riverside County and a couple of other sheriffs. Okay. And she is claiming retaliation. She's claiming wrongful termination, gender discrimination, conspiracy to interfere. Some of the stuff that she says there, she is very interesting. And Chad Bianco apparently has been, aka Yosemite Sam, has been in some hot water for some of the things that he's been doing in that area. So I just said, because he called us keyboard warriors. Well, I figured let's show how much we can keyboard, right? Like, let's pull some lawsuits. Let's talk about the indiscrepancies. Let's talk about the different things that are happening in that area, because that's what keyboard warriors do. They expose various things, right? Do you want to show your bubbles? Come here. Come here. Hold up, y'all. Come here. Show me. Bring it over here. Do you want to show it off? Hold up. Hold up. Oh, no, not on my computer. Come here. Wait, come here. Come here. Come here. Show it off so you can show everybody. Show off the bubbles. Push the button. Push the button. Push it. Show mommy. All right, girl, go away. They're all over, and it's like, whoosh, a bunch of bubbles. It's a new toy, so she's all into it. It's all over. I better be careful because I got the computer here. Shark bubbles. Shark bubbles. Yes. All right, guys. Well, let me shout some of you guys out because I got to get my day started over here and edit this video. Crazy Cat Mama, thank you again for the 1999. I've been silent in the bushes, my dear, never far away. Thank you, Crazy Cat Mama. Shout out to Crazy Cat Mama. Like I said, I've been thinking about you. I was like, I don't know whatever happened to Crazy Cat Mama. She used to visit the channel all the time, but I'm glad you're here. Kim Watts, thank you again for the 199. If no confession, why Jake searching for remains? What's the purpose? That's the question that I have. Something more to that, right? But law enforcement isn't obligated to let us at all know anything. Zombie Mom, is it Zombie Mom? Zombie Mom. It's Zombie Mom. Thank you so much for becoming a member. SD Clips, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Regina, my beautiful, wonderful member and supporter, thank you for correcting the misinformation. Listen, I will do, if I get anything wrong, whether it's coming from me or wherever I get it, I'm gonna correct it if I mess up, because I'm a human and I'm a regular schmegular person just like everybody else. Morris, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Thank you. I don't know why the F anyone would give anybody a chance with charges like that. Just insane to me. And where does she get that name from? Is he the only judge? That judge, no, there's other judges, but this is thank you for the person that let me know. This is the judge, y'all. This is the correct judge. His name is Judge Dwight W. Moore. He's the one that gave that sentencing. So, yeah, this is the judge, and he gave a statement. He can't really, he says, I absolutely precluded from commenting publicly about, why is he precluded? If the case is over. Why is he, is it because he doesn't want to get involved in anything else? He's absolutely precluded from publicly commenting on the case, who acknowledged that the controversy caught him by surprise. In 18 years, this is the first time I've been taken to task in this manner about a decision I've made. Well, maybe people need to take these judges more to task and not just wait for tragedy to happen. How about that? How about we actually, and before tragedy actually happens, how about we take these mother effers to task? You know, because they are making life decisions and decisions about people's lives, and they do hold, even though they're sitting there in the big black robes, okay, they hold a lot of responsibility. Okay, so how about we take these people to task before it's too late, okay? Not just him, but anybody else, especially in juvenile courts, okay, where we see a lot of CPS cases. All right. Mind y'all, thank you so much for the 5. A judge should never have the authority to let anyone who harms a child go anywhere except straight to prison for a predetermined amount of time. There should be no leniency on this, okay, at all. Like, at all. Thank you. And James, thank you. I did acknowledge this comment, but this is a great question that we had. Sylvia, thank you for the 1999. I can't. That mustache though. Where's the scissors? He looks like Captain Kangaroo. You talk about the reporter. Lord have mercy. Thank you. Is it S? I don't know how to say your name. Spot to go. That's what it is. Sorry, I was trying to say it all at once. Rabbit timestamp 2117. I took a screenshot of that picture and zoom in. Tell me if that is a shadow of a baby's side of his chest or if those are his bruises. Where did you take the screenshot? Is this, hold up, girl. Is this and on the video? Hold up. This right here, you said 2117. 2117. I'm looking. This right here? Oh, you're talking about this picture right here. Oh no. The question was, zoom in, tell me if the shadow on the baby's side of his chest or if those are bruises. It's kind of hard to tell because it looks like a shadow, but I see what you're saying. But it is kind of hard to tell. I couldn't tell you. Like right here it looks, but it could be the shadow of it. I don't know. I'd have to see more. I hate like looking at, the pictures because it's just so sad to me. You can see it like a fingerprint, like an arm print. Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it looks diffused. It could also be the camera angle, guys. Could vary because camera angles also create shadows, but yeah, he looks terrified. He does. Thank you so much, Spot to Go, for this $9.99. Yeah, but it's just a sad. Like, I hate seeing it. I think it's kind of hard to tell, love, because you could make the argument that it does look like a bit of a bruising, but it also looks like the shadow on the side of where his the nipple area is at. It kind of looks a little bit of a fingerprint bruise there too, but it's hard to tell without really looking. This photo kind of bothers me too, for sure. This poor baby went through some stuff that didn't need to go through at all. Like, in his short little life, these people, Mr. Jacob Haro needs to stay there and burn. I'm sorry. And I know guilty until he has to stay in court completely. I get it. But y'all, even the audacity for the stuff that he's saying about the 10-week-old behind, that interview that he did with that reporter. Like, what? The judge knew. So he's saying, yes, honey. So he's saying that this judge told him. Remember what he said. Oh my God, all those bubbles. He's saying that this judge told him that he should just take a plea deal because no one was going to believe him. This is the judge. I don't know if I believe that, but anyways, I'm just going to say that. Yeah, I mean, literally, it's just a sad. Yeah, he's the victim, mama. He's the victim. That's right, Kim. It's really sad to see all this, like even now, just watching these pictures. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming through. This was I would say a short live for the most part. Make sure you guys are checking us out on TikTok. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, I have another video coming through on Sheriff Chad Bianco, aka Yosemite Sam. I'm going to go edit it now. Hopefully drop it in about an hour and a half or so. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, my goodness, mama. Bye, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Bye, guys.